everyone. Welcome back to another episode of The Industry, I Guess. My name is Brooke Morrison.
Sorry, I just had Coke, not that kind.
Oh my God, Tetris.
Oh God, it's literally in my chest.
Oh, all right. Okay.
I'm all right.
Yep. Give it a second.
Okay. I think I'm all right. That was a lot.
Tell the people your name.
Hi, my name is Tetris Kelly. You can find me at It's Tetris Bish on all social platforms. Hi, Brooke.
Hello.
We've been having fun here.
We have been, actually. Which I think our last episode with Bruin is one of my favorites so far.
Yeah.
Now you guys know like what I do for a living. Kind of. Whenever I say I'm a producer for Odyssey, now you know who I produce for, what I produce for. And that is Brew, who is a TikToker. If you want to go back and listen to that episode, we just put that one out.
Yeah.
That was our last episode.
The industry, I guess. This is why she's the industry.
We're in the industry.
We do things.
Okay, so what is the song you're loving right now? Real fast.
Well, I feel like you already know the answer to this, but it might have something to do with fried chicken.
Oh my God.
Gnarly.
Could it be?
Party in the Hollywood Hills.
Could it be Katseye Gnarly? That's brand new. That just dropped. Wow.
So
So tell me what your first listen was, and then tell me if it's the same as how you feel about it now.
Oh, I am 100% the target demographic for this song, okay? Because I remember I got invited to the girls' like industry listening event where it was just like a few people from the industry. It was over at Soho House in West Hollywood, and we just like sat with the girls and listened to like the entire
I think you invited
EP.
me to this, and I couldn't go.
I did, yeah,
Okay,
I sure did. I remember. And like, so they play the first song, and they play it with the music video.
Okay. You saw that at the same time.
Yeah,
okay,
at the same time.
Yeah.
And you could even tell that like the girls and the label were like,
this is it. Or no, or they were like watching you
like,
to see.
Not even just specifically me, but just like
Yeah,
they
right.
can tell that this is a moment and a thing, right?
Yeah.
And then of course they like explain that it's like a very like in your face thing that they're like, you know, but then they play the rest of the tracks. And again, I've said this on Twitter, so it's not like a surprise. I've heard the rest of the EP. It is sonically you're getting a lot, and you will get a lot more of the pop and the vocals that we come to love and expect from the girls.
Okay.
But after they played the whole thing, and I think, you know, they're expecting like, okay, Gnarly's like the event single at the beginning, and then the rest of it, people are going to like pick their favorites.
Yeah.
The girls walk up to me and they're like, okay, Tetris, what do you want to listen to right now? Like, what was your favorite?
Oh.
And my genuine answer was, if I was getting in my car right now and I had access to these songs, I'd want to hear Gnarly.
Okay.
I instantly like Gnarly.
Yeah.
It was like it's just reminds me of a lighter time in music where you could make a song that was just a good time.
Right.
That's not taking itself too seriously. Now, I do think there are some undertones there that you do need to be checking. There's some messaging in there that you guys might want to pay attention to. If you get it, you get it. But outside of that, just let the girls have fun.
Okay.
What's wrong? Is Wanna Be a complicated song?
No, it's not.
Or do you have fun every time you say,
it's a lot of fun.
Slam into the floor and zig a zig ah? What is zig a zig ah? You tell me.
That's true. Hold on. We need to explain to Carlos, though, what we're even talking about. Or anybody else who might be listening to the podcast and doesn't understand. There is a group that is a hype group.
Global girl group.
Global girl group. It was created here in the U.S. and it was created on a show, which they call, what is it?
Pop Star Academy.
Pop Star Academy. But it's what kind of show is it? It's like not a challenge show. It's a
competition show?
Competition show. There's a way that they say it's like Produce 48 or whatever they have in Korea. But basically they had one of those shows here.
It was on Netflix.
It was on Netflix. It was like documentary style. And they picked these girls from a bunch of them that were supposed to be in this global girl group, the first that Hybe has ever done. So they put out a couple songs. They had one called Debut. They had one called Touch.
Debut.
Very poppy sounds.
So
and again,
good.
These are girls. The only one who's not American is Yoonchae. She's Korean. Everyone else is from like Hawaii. And Manon actually is from Switzerland. Okay. So that is the context of them releasing these songs. It was very, very different from what they just released. And so I think the backlash, which there was quite a bit of instant backlash on the single, was from just the stark difference between Touch and something like Gnarly. It is very, very, very different. And it's a departure from what we've seen from them. And I think some people were really looking forward to. I think what they wanted from them, I saw was like Pussycat Dolls, which I kind of think was a little bit more aligned with Gnarly, to be honest.
Yeah, I do. I was about to say, I think Gnarly and Pussycat Dolls give the same thing, to be quite honest.
To a lot of people, that wasn't true. I think they wanted like the Little Mix, Spice Girls, like that kind of thing.
We've seen it all. We've done it all, guys.
Yeah, but again, that's just me explaining what this is, what's happening. If you guys want to even pause this right now, go back and listen to Touch first, maybe, and watch the video.
I mean, Touch and Gnarly couldn't be more sonically different.
Exactly. No, but I'm saying like the reason that how people reacted to it. If you wanted to watch that first and then go and listen to Gnarly, just so you can maybe understand why people were so aggressively against the release of Gnarly, because again, the first 48 hours were rough.
Well, listen, but look how quick people changed their tone.
And then
why?
People
because the girls are performers.
Yes.
They're talented. You saw the vision. You saw them on the stage, and then you're like, wait, this is hot. Because they're hot. They're great.
Yeah.
And they're so good. There's nobody that is performing at the level that Katseye performs in the industry at all. I'm not talking about the K-pop industry. I'm literally talking about the industry. The level of danceability and stage presence that they bring. And Gnarly is the kind of song that leans into that sort of in-your-face performability. And they're so good at it. And that's why I loved watching the internet be like, what is this song? To like, it kind of go. It's good. Yeah. It's good.
Well, the initial mention of Tesla also threw people off. And then the fried chicken part, they were like, what does that have to do with anything? There's
what does anything have to do with anything in a lot of songs we listen to?
The lyrics were, even me first listen, I was like, I don't know what they're saying. I know they're saying things and that's cool. But I had to give it like maybe 3 more listens to be like, actually, okay, I get the concept. But I immediately loved the chorus.
Oh,
like, regardless of how I felt about the lyrics or anything else, the choreo has been fire. The chorus, I think, is amazing sonically. So since that release, I was actually already for it. I knew I needed to wait to make any statements on it.
Make any statements. And I feel like also people hated like the cursing and stuff too. I saw a lot of people talking about that. But again, I remember being young and like, excuse me, this Coke was really a bad decision. Excuse me. I remember being young and like the first time like Britney had a cuss word in the song and stuff. And this is like, I think I have to remember my age and that a lot of people listening to the music are younger.
Yeah, true.
And so they're kind of going through that way of processing stuff. But to know those girls, they're all so amazing.
Yeah.
They are chaotic. They are so chaotic together and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Never mind. But it's beautiful. And I think that people, that's what you're seeing. And I think it's so genuinely them. It's so honestly them that, you know, it's beautiful to see. And I'm glad, and I hope people jump on board when they realize like what you're getting from Katseye.
Yeah. And I think what we're seeing now is that recognition of that moment, of that part of them, because now what's coming out is the behind the scenes of them recording and them actually enjoying the song off first listen and them saying, we even loved it. Like we were so excited, but we knew it wasn't really going to land right away for a lot of people. And so now people have accepted and started to love the song.
When you get the vision.
When you get the, I think we also need to address though, with this and it being the kind of thing that we saw immediately is kind of the lack of context and how people are jumping to conclusions with a lot of things. And we don't even have to bring up a lot of other stuff that's happened even with Met Gala stuff. And I think a lot of people are throwing some opinions out there as well.
Girl.
Without knowing.
Don't you?
I'll do it. Yep. But all I'm saying is that it's interesting to see it if you sit on things and if you wait on them. Maybe the entire opinion that you had upon first listen would change. And I think what we're seeing on TikTok was just reactionary hot takes. It was like instantaneous opinions on what they had just seen. And a lot of things are not supposed to be that way. Like we usually in the past would get a music video that was played over and over again on MTV. Then maybe by the 11th, 12th time you saw it, you loved it.
It's called Let Them Cook.
Let Them Cook. But how do you feel about like, I think now the current, I don't know, like the experience that we've created for ourselves when it comes to digesting pop culture?
I mean, that's a tangent. I feel like basically, honestly, it's all shit. It's like it's just the rapidness of content, how rapidly people get over songs and move on, the way we consume content. It's all a little whack. I mean, again, I hate sounding like an old person because we did this to our parents. We're like, you sound like an old person, but it's just like, do you remember going to Walmart or whatever, to your local record store? I live from a small town, so it was Walmart. And like grabbing a CD for the first time the day it came out, having to go home, put it in your freaking CD player and listen to the full album.
Yep.
Not skip around songs, not put it on shuffle, not go to the one that has a feature because you're excited for it.
Yeah.
Just like that way of processing an album, the way that, again, with music videos, you brought up like TRL and MTV, like, when did you see Britney Spears' Oops, I Did It Again? When you went your ass home from school, waited on TRL to come home, and voted for it so it can be in the top 10. And then you got fucking mad when they only played a minute and a half of the video that day. You're like, wait, I didn't even see the other part.
Yeah.
Like, my God, because you didn't have YouTube to just go and watch Oops, I Did It Again on repeat. Right. Now, technology happens, and now there's streaming, and now there's short-form content, and there's YouTube, and I'm happy that all those things exist, but it has made it impossible for people to consume music and albums the way they should, and they just want a hot take.
Right.
They just want a hot take right away. Got to have an opinion. The song just dropped. Let's have an opinion. I'm guilty. I'm on live. If Taylor Swift drop an album, I'm finna get on Twitter and I'm finna tweet as I'm listening to it my opinions. But that's just what the industry's done.
But I think it's the difference of like, would you ever just say this is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life? This is hot shit.
No.
Have you done that?
I'm trying to think. No, that's why I was like, I don't want to lie on myself.
People search your Twitter.
But I feel like for the most time, I try to give it a second. Even like the Lizzo song, I think, is a great example of that.
Okay.
Her most recent one. Everybody hates it or hated it. I don't know. They still hate it.
I don't think I've heard it.
But like, yeah, she put a lot of money in the music video. And when it first came out, I reserved my opinion. I was like, I don't want to jump on this Lizzo's new song is bad train. And I've listened to it a couple times, and now it's on my like regular playlist, my little like go-to drive playlist. I think it's a great song. Obviously, she's gotten so much backlash. She even, I don't know if you've seen this, she put on Instagram that the original version of the song was her favorite version, and because of her label, she went through a bunch of changes. There's like 20 different versions of the song, and the version that came out is like the 20th version, and she was like, basically, F my label, I'm gonna drop the demo.
Oh, did she?
Because I want people to hear like the original way I wanted this song to be.
Yeah.
I haven't seen if the demo is out, but she said she's gonna release the demo.
Wow.
So I think like that is just again, you've made an artist feel bad about her art because of how bad y'all have dragged it on the internet.
Yeah.
Stop.
I
hate. I'm like, be nice.
Because you know what I did do the day after that song dropped? I called my sister and we talked about it on the phone. Like, I didn't take it to TikTok and drop a think piece about it, but because there's also this, and obviously, like, people that work in the industry are going to have a different experience a lot of the time. I know somebody who works on their team, and what I could have done, and I told my sister this too, I was like, I'm almost about to reach out to him and ask him where the song came from, whose idea it was.
You were like, I want to know the tea.
I kind of did. I was like, should I actually like kind of reach out? And I didn't even do that because I was like, hold on. If I see this man, it'll be when I see him in person in a couple weeks anyway. Totally fine. He's in Seoul. Leave him alone. On top of it, I don't know how I feel about the song yet. So who cares? You know, so it was like that kind of, it's whatever. I do appreciate that people are passionate about them. They were super excited for the single. They might have felt like a disappointment immediately. I'm hoping a lot of that is worn off.
Oh, they coming around.
But it's, I mean, hey, it is an interesting song. I'm not gonna lie, it's an interesting song. I do want to know like how that decision was made. We know who the writer was because she's like gone on TikTok and talked about the song too. Long story short, even if you're not into K-pop, I think it's like an interesting thing we need to think about. It's like, how reactionary should I be when it comes to music, and how much of this do I need to share right away, or can I give it a few days?
The K-pop word, all that came to my head right now is, oh my God, can you imagine what it's going to be like when the first post-military BTS song comes out?
Don't get me started. I'm so excited though.
I'm so excited, but like you just made me think about like the internet think pieces.
Oh, I know, that too. It's already going to happen. I'm already expecting a lot of people to say, oh, it's not as good as their older music. Like even before I even know what it's about or if I like
the genre,
what it sounds like. I know nothing about it. Yeah.
Butter, Permission to Dance, Dynamite pop style, if they're going to go more hip hop again, or like, what is the BTS sound now?
Who knows? But I think whatever it'll be, I will support them in their artistry, even if I don't like the song. That's how I feel about that kind of stuff.
I hope they get in that J-Hope bag.
I mean, yeah. But like, I think they have been they've been doing so well when it comes to working with artists and songwriters that they believe in and then putting out quality music. And I think it's going to continue. So I'm not worried about that.